Welcome back, fellas, into this new video of Tech Express. Today, let's get started on creating your first Stripe account. The process actually is not that hard, so you have an actual product, a website, and a dream. Now you just needed an actual way to get paid, right? So I want to get started with the actual Stripe. Now, Stripe, enter your email directly into the option that says Get Started. Here you wanted to make sure that you enter your full legal name, the strong password. A pro tip that I can give you is that use a dedicated business email address. It looks more professional to Stripe Risk AI. And the Stripe will immediately send an actual verification email, so just click it to activate your actual dashboard. Without this, you can't move to the actual next step, so make sure that you have done this correctly. Now currently we do have an actual Stripe account, but in this case, for example, since this is only an actual test mode, it will be telling me something that it might be telling for almost everybody that has an actual free and beginner plan, which is the actual verification of my business. Now, Stripe AI will scan your website. It must be live and show you what you're actually selling. A coming soon, for example, page will get your account rejected instantly, so make sure that you do have an actual website that actually starts selling stuff. So you want it to be specific instead of consulting. Write, for example, social media marketing services for small businesses. Really important to always focus for small businesses if this is, for example, like a small website, right? So this is where your money goes, which is the inputting the bank account information. Into the left section, for example, we have the home section of the elements that we needed to focus in order to activate the actual payments. The balances, all the money that you currently have, the balance summary, all my incoming, and the availability here. The transactions, of course, as it says so, I can see how to start collecting payments. I can check out the payouts, all the activity. Here I can start by registering my customers, my regular customers, and I can check out here the product catalog. Adding more catalogs and products added directly inside here. Here's the billing overview, the products, payments, billings, reporting, and so much more. Now, usually, in order to make sure that everything works correctly, when you hit into the option that says continue with the actual activating, usually it might be asking you, for example, to activate the identity and the actual selfie that appears directly into the left section. So once you have now checked out the actual element, it will be telling you here to check out the identity verification. You'll be asked, of course, to take a clear photo of your ID and the live selfie. So this liveness check is the new standard to prevent identity thief. So I strongly recommend you to do this process before we can actually use the actual Stripe into your website. After this has now been correctly done, you have the security and the go live. So this is not optional because you needed to use an app like Google Authenticator so that my Stripe account contains my live liquid locked it down, right? So this process, once again, is going to be really important and really fast. Lastly, we have the availability to add your actual bank, which in this case we will be sending earnings and received to this actual account, which is here the clave. Here's to confirm the actual clave. And here, for example, there are more extra things to add. For example, the automation of the tax collection. You can see the product category where you are more focused on. And here you can check out the climate contributions. For example, every dollar we fund at next generation carbon removal, you can change your commitment amount anytime in the climate section of your dashboard. So for example, I can make the charge of my product and I can add, let's say, for example, like a 1% in order for making the climate commitment, the Stripe climate directly. You can tell your actual customers what is the actual element where you want to get started with. And lastly, here's the review and the actual submit when you have finished with the website, the product and services, the product details, the management and ownership, the payout details, your account security, the tax calculation, the climate commitment, and keep for the option this is agree and submit. Once everything has now been correctly verified, usually it takes up to 48 hours, I believe, you can toggle the switch to live and you are now officially open for business. If you are not ready for open for business, you want to do, of course, make sure that you enable the test mode. So everything that appears directly in here is just like a test element, and you have to, of course, to make sure that in this case, for example, I am using, let's say, just assuming balances and all the real balances, right? So you have now built your most important bridge into the business. You now are ready to get started directly into Stripe.